Today on the channel, we're dealing in death. We've got Marvel Legends Death Dealer and Wenwu from the Shang-Chi wave. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we continue unboxing the Shang-Chi movie wave from Marvel Legends and Hasbro. But remember, for all your Shang-Chi, Marvel Legends, Star Wars, you name it, everything under the sun, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. So today we're doing the bad guys from the Shang-Chi movie. At least that's how I presume it to be. You know Death Dealer's got to be a bad guy. With a name like Death Dealer, oh, you know he's up to no good. And then you got Wenwu, and we'll talk about both of these figures. I think we'll start with Death Dealer, though, as I have been excited about Death Dealer since the first time I saw him. I find him to be the jewel of the line, at least as far as first impressions go. Hopefully they hold up. Let's take a peek, and we're going to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging first, unbox it, talk about it loose, and then see where we go from there, and then we'll hit up old Wenwu. But remember, this is Build-A-Figure land with Mr. Hyde as well. We'll have Build-A-Figure parts in here. Remember, I unboxed the first round yesterday of the comic and video game characters from it with Civil Warrior and Iron Man. Today we're starting the movies. Tomorrow we'll do another movie wave. And then later in the week we'll have a ranking of all the figures in the wave. I'll rank them from my favorite to least favorite. And then we're going to build that Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure in that video. So a lot of Shang-Chi Marvel Legends videos this week. So please hit the old subscription right there. Hit the old notification bell. All that kind of fun stuff. Like the video. Why not while you're here? That's just a little housekeeping for this week as we unbox the whole line and see what all the fuss is about, as one would say. So Death Dealer, very excited to get this one. I think he looks extremely cool. You got the Shang-Chi movie there. You got Death Dealer. You got extra hands. You got the Mr. Hyde part. It looks cool in kind of a robe going on there. You got the Marvel Legends logo. Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. Look how cool he is there with that kabuki makeup behind that mask and everything. I mean, just a cool looking ninja. There he is, same thing on the other side. And then you got the back, promoting the whole line. You got Mr. Hyde down here, a bunch of warnings. We got a little reading to do. We'll read that in a second. Then you got a cool glamour shot to the side there as well. Now, Death Dealer, I mean, he's got to be a ninja, right? He looks like a ninja. And I'm not the biggest ninja guy. Everybody says, Kyle, you love G.I. Joe so much, but the ninja part of G.I. Joe was always my least favorite part of G.I. Joe, which is always interesting to people. But I know there's a lot of G.I. Joe fans. I'm in a lot of G.I. Joe groups who are pretty excited about some of these figures to use in their G.I. Joe universe, especially with that classified movie, G.I. Joe classified figure, movie figures coming out soon. Using some of these heads, putting them into that universe a little bit, making some more ninjas. I can see people maybe army building this one out there. Some really cool ideas out there with that. So I think there'll be some other reuse out of these from some of the other lines and other collectors out there. But let's see what it says about our boy Death Dealer. Dealing death one day at a time, I think. Death Dealer is one of the most formidable opponents Shang-Chi has ever faced. That doesn't really tell us a whole lot about Death Dealer. He's just a tough guy and a formidable opponent. That's all you get. So don't really get any kind of character explanation. And that could very well be that Hasbro didn't get any kind of, here's what's going on in the movie. They're trying to keep the spoiler-free zone, so these figures are out, they're in production, they're being made. Hey, here's what the guy looks like. That's all you get. So they can't put a more blurb on there. I have to think maybe that's the way it's going, because that just seems strange not to give us any kind of information at all about Death Dealer. Because he looks like he's going to be a prominent character in the movie if you did see the trailer for the movie that came out a week or two ago. There's that background, nothing too fun there. There you go. See you later. All right, a little plastic prison. There's old Death Dealer. Comes with extra hands that have weapons attached to them, which is interesting. Very Bullseye-esque. If you remember back to the Bullseye, the Daredevil villain, he had some of that going on too. And you get a Mr. Hyde arm in here for good measure. So there it is. All right, soaking this Death Dealer in. I don't see any paint application issues, which always got to love that. You know, every once in a while we'll get one. But I don't see any problems there. So that's very good. That's the way we want it. So let's bust him out of the old plastic prison. Let's see what's doing here with the old Death Dealer. See you later up high towards the sky. All right. Big old hulking Mr. Hyde arm with got a little wolf pack right there. A little wolf patch of hair. That's a hairy dude. That's a hairy beast right there. We'll build him at the end of the week. Remember that. Very cool here. You got the hand. This is all brand new. Got a little dagger. It's like he's getting ready to throw it. You know how that goes. And then you got two that are flying through the air. Like I said, very Bullseye from the old Marvel Legends figure of Bullseye. It reminds me of that. Now, what do we got here with Death Dealer? What do we got? He's got a robe on. He's got kind of, I don't know what kind of hands you would call these. Open hands. He's open for business. Kind of clawing hands. Oh, daggers. We got daggers on the back. I thought those came off. I thought that was going to be really cool, but these are just for show, unfortunately. These do not come out. I don't think. Nope, they don't. Darn. That would have been really cool to have a holster to be able to just pull one out of your back and like that. But not meant to be, unfortunately. Death Dealer's got a really cool head with that kabuki makeup back there behind there. I like that a lot. I also like the ponytail up top that comes there. It doesn't limit articulation or anything with that ponytail. You can easily move that around whichever way you want to go. You get pretty good articulation. You never know with some of these like robes and kilts and skirts like that. Sometimes articulation is limited, but he's got slits on both sides. That keeps things going pretty well. Got very cool boots too. He's got a little D boot design here. Kind of strange if you think about it. It's almost like a wrestler's boots. He's got his name or initials on the side. Why would Death Dealer put his initials on his boots? Why would he take that extra time, that extra step? I don't know. What do we know, I guess, huh? But very cool. Articulation is nice on these guys as well. There's no stiff joints, no broken joints, none of that. Obviously, you're not going to be able to move a lot with this robe hindering some of the articulation. See about figure stands, ringsidecollectibles.com. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. Best stands in the game. I say it all the time. Spend your money on your figures, not your stands. Fits perfectly like that, like many others. So pick up your Ringside Collectible stands. Very cool. He fits on one of those. I tell you what, he lives up to my expectations. The only thing I would like is maybe a little bit more articulation. I wouldn't mind a couple of fisted hands. On ninjas especially, you need all kinds of different hand designs. You need the karate chop hand, you need the fist, you need the open. I like these two, though, that are throwing stuff. I think that is a cool, nice touch. But really does hold up to what I thought. I like the red back here behind the blue. You got the orange piping on the robe. A solid figure, guys. I think this one will be a hot seller. Big Bad Toy Store is selling this right now. Like I said, Target, it seems to be, this is an online only at Target. It seems like they're only coming a few figures out on the shelves at Target, but Death Dealer is one of those ones that's going to be online only. Very strange. Not sure why that is. Does it have something to do with the name Death Dealer in the toy aisle? I have no idea. But this is one you can only get online. So Walmart's, though, they have this on the shelf. So I don't know the rules there or what the story is. But they seem to have plenty of this line outside of him at Target. Check your Walmarts. We're talking right now, Walmarts are starting to reset. You should see lots of these at the Walmart shelves. Or do the easy thing, go to Big Bad Toy Store and pick it up yourself. But that's Death Dealer, a very, very solid figure. Highly recommend this one. This will be at the top of the list for sure. I had a feeling it would be, and it's coming true. So there it is. Now we got to turn our attention to Wenwu. Let's open him up and see what's going on. All right, next up, we've got our old buddy Wenwu, and I've never heard of Wenwu in my entire life, so very strange. Obviously, it'll all be revealed to us in the movie when that does release this September. He does have the 10 rings on his arm, which I understand from what I've kind of read and seeing in the video of the trailer for this movie. You know, historically, the 10 rings have been actual rings on hands, and that's the Mandarin. Well, this Wenwu character has them on his arm, so they're changing the story a little bit from the comic story I know. Also, the Mandarin always had the 10 rings as far as I remember. I'm sure he lost them a few times, got them back, all that fun stuff. But that's how I remember the Mandarin. So my mind lends me to believe that this is going to be the Mandarin. Maybe this is kind of the origin story of the movie, how he turns into the Mandarin. I'm not sure. Does he team up with Death Dealer in the movie? There's a lot of unanswered questions here, and it's really kind of strange for especially kids. When these are marketed to kids in the toy aisle, are they going to be picking up Wenwu when they have no idea what Wenwu is? And we all got to take that step back. Shang-Chi as a whole, we don't really know a whole lot about him. I don't know of any kids on the old schoolyard, people my age. There was no Shang-Chi talk. We're going to talk about that in tomorrow's video when we actually look at the Shang-Chi figure. I got some Shang-Chi questions, and maybe some of you guys can answer that. So, anyways, let's look at Wenwu. We'll save some of that discussion for tomorrow. We'll take a look at this Wenwu figure right now. So there he is. Comes with that Mr. Hyde cane, and it looks like we got another arm for Mr. Hyde in here. He's got a really cool weapon in there. Not sure what that's called. We got extra hands, 2 extra sets of hands. Then you got the Wenwu figure. Little glamour shot on the side with the Shang-Chi logo down below. And same thing on this side. Shang-Chi logo at the top. I assume that's the Shang-Chi logo. Warnings on the bottom. And then you got the back of the package. So there's the rest of the group. There's Mr. Hyde. There's all of our friends back there. Just doing their thing back there. All right, let's take it back. Let's see what's going on. Let's take a look at it. See what we got to say here. Shang-Chi's father, Wenwu, is the feared leader of the Ten Rings organization, which has lurked in the shadows of the MCU since the very beginning. Very interesting there. So we're going to see some Easter eggs back to... I don't know. How are they going to tie all this together? I guess we got to see the movie, so we got to wait a few months. But for now, we have the figures. That's all we can talk about. It'd be interesting doing these figure reviews after the movie and knowing that what happened in the movie, if that affects thoughts on these figures. Maybe you like them more, maybe you like them less. Who knows? Obviously, I could say, oh yeah, this is the Mandarin from the movie. I could say all that, but right now I have absolutely no idea. So we're just going in. We're going to do it. We'll see what's going on here. Shang-Chi background. We saw that with Death Dealer. See you later. All right. Plastic Prison. Very cool. I like the colors on this one a whole lot. There it is. Plastic Prison shot. So let's pop him out. Let's pop some of these Mr. Hyde parts out here. Big cane for Mr. Hyde. From Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, of course. And then you got the big arm. Very cool. We'll build him at the end of the week, remember. Now, I like this weapon a whole lot. I don't know what the heck this weapon is. I don't know what the technical term is, but man, this thing just says bad news to it. It even has the hook. I believe you can fish hook somebody, and oh my gosh. That's what this is for, I think, fish hooking people. But very cool, very solid. Lots of hands. This kind of goes back to what I was saying with Death Dealer. All these martial artist characters and stuff, you need lots of hands. Normally, I don't need a ton of hands, but martial arts characters, you do need a lot of hands because, you need the traditional karate chop. You need the punching hands. You need kind of the heart punch, power punch hands. You need all that kind of stuff. See you later. Get out of here. All right. Wenwu, what do we know about you? I don't know. He's got 10 rings on his arms. That looks pretty solid. I tell you what, the head sculpt, face scan on this guy is amazing. I mean, it's very, very lifelike. Very lifelike. Probably one of the best MCU figures I've seen as far as face likeness. Very good here. I love kind of the modern clothing with the touch to the past, I guess, with his kind of kimono type wrap around his waist. But then you got like the shoulder presentation, almost tactical gear underneath here. It really works together with the black boots and the black coloring and all that stuff. Your articulation is definitely hindered, though, by this kimono skirt, whatever you want to call it. It's wrapped around his waist. Really limits you getting any legs back and forth. And then you got a little bit of a protector right here by his groin. You've got to protect that groin. So that limits some of that a little bit. He comes with both fists on him. You don't see figures come with both fists on very often. I like that, though. Some of those guys, they're ready. They're ready for their fists. They're ready to throw down. And that's how he looks to me. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? That's always the good old litmus test, and he fits like a glove. Discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on those. Love it. I like this one. I wasn't sure about this one, but boy, this is a next level face. Looks just like the character from the movie, the actor, I don't know his name, but looks just like him. I really love the blue and the black. The worst part about this one, though, is the hindrance of the skirt, the kilt, I don't know what we're going to call it, the wrap around him that he's got around his waist. Really hinders some of the articulation, but I like the extra hands. I don't know what this weapon is. We've never had it before, but I sure do like it. I think this thing is going to get some use. He'll definitely be displayed with this in my collection, but two very solid ones. Death Dealer, I went into it thinking, hey, this is going to be extremely solid. I wasn't so sure. I wasn't sold on Wenwu, but Wenwu came through. He came through looking like a champ. So I like both of these. It'll be interesting how this ranks out when I rank the video at the end of the week with them and we build the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. You tell me your thoughts. Do you know Death Dealer? Did you follow the Shang-Chi comics back in the day? What did you think of Death Dealer back in the day? I have zero recollection of Death Dealer. Maybe somebody could jog my memory. Maybe I would know him from some arc or some comic book line. but I never read Shang-Chi as a kid. I didn't even know Shang-Chi existed until probably the late 90s. So we'll talk a little bit about that on the video tomorrow when we dissect the Shang-Chi character. But for Wenwu and Death Dealer, both of these beat my expectations. Death Dealer I already thought was going to be cool. He is super cool. Wenwu, I wasn't sure what I thought of him. Very cool as well. So very solid. 2 solid pickups that I recommend grabbing at your earliest convenience, we'll call it. So there it is, Wenwu Death Dealer. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got new videos every single day. So for Death Dealer Wenwu, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.